Kirk Duckwell here with Mastermind the Market, your real estate stats update for the Twin Cities area. Well, are we falling into the fall market? What do I mean by that? Well, the velocity of the market, what's happening out there? We did see an initial drop in prices, but what can we expect to see here coming into the market? So let's dive into the data and take a look at what's been going on. Showings per week, per listing, median sale price range, 250 to 500K, dropped off ever so slightly, 3.91 down to a 3.76. So yes, as a seller, that is the average number of showings that you can expect in that price range of 250 to 500K on a listing. That's what they're seeing out there, 3.76. This is slower than last year by 18%. But as we've said, this year, this later summer market is going back to what our market was more like back in 2017, 18, and 19. We're not in that 2020, 2021, or spring of 2022 market anymore. Things have shifted. We can also see that in the total number of showings did drop off week over week. Again, not a big surprise for this time of year, 33 down to 3192, but definitely slower than last year at 4094. All right. So market is slowing down, but not super fast. So how does this transition over to the market meter scale? We can see that it's been relatively flat. We actually had a little jump up a couple weeks back where it went from a 5.57 up to a 5.69. So this is kind of the leader in telling us where our prices are more than likely going to go. And this is a normal summertime trend to kind of flatten out during the summer. So some of the other activity before we go to where that lands on our scale and what we're seeing with prices, we can see that new listings into the marketplace did drop off a bit. It was at 1638 down to 1443. Pending sales relatively flat, was at 1155, just a slight jump up to 1171. And inventory of homes also holding relatively flat, 8814 up to 8830. Looks like early indicators that there may be a little more new listings coming into the marketplace. So we may see that inventory jump up coming into this next week, but we'll see ultimately where that lands. Interest rates did move up a little bit. We're kind of seeing this up and down movement with rates right now. It's kind of volatile out there with the different economic factors, information coming out. So each time the market reacts to that. So we were down at a 4.99 up to a 5.22. And that, again, is with points. So that's buying down that interest rate. Talking to our resident mortgage geek, Chad Preby, he said without points, as of today, when the video is being recorded on 8/11, that 5.25 for a 30-year is what he's seeing out there with no points. So again, that's why it's so important to talk to your local loan officer and see exactly where interest rates are for you out there. All right, so going back to the market meter, we're at a 5.63 on that market meter scale. So that puts us right here, kind of in that balanced market range. So it should be no surprise that more than likely we're going to see prices start to kind of do this tiered drop off. And what do I mean by that? Show you here that historically, looking back, when we get to the summertime, the prices don't just slide down. Usually they step their way down, stepping into fall. So this is why it can still be a good time of year for sellers out there, as long as you're pricing appropriate for the market velocity out there. You can still take advantage of prices that are still relatively reasonable before we get to the bottom of our marketplace. Now, if we go back and looking bottom historically, you can see this says December. Here it is January, January again. But take that time frame and set it back a month to 2 months, because this is when the closed sale data comes out. So usually the slowest sale prices are in between that Thanksgiving and Christmas timeline. So hopefully you found this information valuable. As always, if you want to geek out more on real estate, check out our Twin Cities Real Estate Show. That's on the CW23 Saturday mornings at 6:30 or AM 950, Sundays at noon, or just go to TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. Take care, be safe, everybody, and have a great week.